Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So it's the second week of December, which means it is the second week in my Christmas decoration series. So if you want to see this week, then just keep watching. Alright, so we're going to be using the Nordic Christmas side of the kikki.K Christmas collection. So I've got the Paper Lovers book out, I've got the sticker book, and I've got the washies. I also have a couple of extra washies because I have an idea on how to do my date covers. But I'm going to start off with these spots because I want to put them vertically down the side of the page. Yeah, I know, I always do it. Whoops. I'm going to run this down the side, which means I might have to white out the days a little bit, which is fine because I'm going to cover them all up anyway. So I'm just going to grab my white out and white out all of the days and the month. I've been waiting for the day for probably 2 years that I do that. So I always just sort of push it up to get the bit in, and then I've done it. Oh well, you'll never notice it, and quite honestly it doesn't make that much of a difference on the page, so it'll be fine. So I'm going to quickly finish off the other side as well. Just done that just to make sure that they're basically looking exactly the same. And then we can sort of work from there. Alright, so I think I want to put some mushrooms at the top and these are all this year's kikki.K washies. I think I want to put the mushrooms at the top and then put some Christmas trees in the middle, but I'm not quite sure yet. So I think what I'll do is put the days of the week back in first. So these are actually washi tapes from kikki.K from previous years. So I think this one's probably like 2 or 3 years old. This one might just be 2. So I'm just going to alternate between them because they obviously do match really nicely with the dots in this collection. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to do little strips sort of 2 centimeters long, and I'm going to tear them to add just a little bit of extra goodness. And I'm just going to alternate them. So it'll just go, might be a little bit too big. That's not 2 centimeters, that's 2 inches. Hold on, flip this over. 2 centimeters, sheesh. Maybe make them so they're just about 5. I think that's a really good kind of spot to sit. So I'm just going to alternate between them. And I'm going to tear them, but I'm going to tear them in with the ruler. So that way they get a little bit of straightness to them. And I'll stuff that one up. So I'll do it again. Grab my days of the week. So I'm going to be using these ones from Barney and Moon. They are gold foiled and the gold matches this gold really, really well. So this is how I'm going to put that other colour back in. And then I've got the date dots as well, so that certainly makes life a little bit easier. So we go from the 9th. Yeah, we're going to have enough. So we'll just start putting these on, build them up on the washi first. So we'll go the light red and then the dark red and just alternate. if you build them up on the washi, then you only have to put the washi down once. So it's sort of a bit of a, not a trick, but easy way to do it. The dots are unfortunately clear, which I don't want, so I'm just going to grab another set of dots. So the font isn't the same. These ones I think are from Made Paper Co, if I'm right. They are reasonably old. They're definitely a different kind of font, but I'd rather use these with the white than use the clear ones. So I'm just going to go ahead and do all of these, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so they're all up, or all done there. I'm just going to start transferring them over to my pages. So obviously, you know, make sure it's up the right way. That's a good place to start. I'm just trying to make sure I don't fold down any of the corners. So we'll just pull that up. And then we just line it up with the line that's already here. And this is where you'll see the difference in the colour, because it is a little hard to tell between the two shades on the blue, but when you get it on the white, it'll really make sense. And it'll bring out that sort of differentiation between the two. And it matches right in with those. So I'm just going to finish this off and I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm leaving this one here because I'm going to put something down the bottom, so I don't need to worry about covering that up. So I'm going to put that next bit on first because I feel like I need the big things to then decide what I'm going to do with the top. So I'm going to grab, this is actually one of the mini cards. I want to use this little one with the little owl. I'm going to fold that over. I'm going to cut off all the red bits because I don't like them, but so I'm going to use that as like a little flip out, sort of sit in the corner. So I'm going to have the washi, but I'm going to have it sitting at the bottom. So the first thing I need to do is trim off all of the red bits because they're going to annoy me. I'm going to do that with my paper trimmer so that they stay straight. Grabbing the trimmer in, and I'm just trimming off just a little bit, like it's going to be the thinnest little strip of stuff coming off, but that gets rid of the red. And then I'm going to fold that over and hold that in the right spot and trim off the excess there. So now there's no red left. Stick that down on there, but I just want to put some washi sticking out as well. So I'm going to put, I have another idea for the mushrooms on the other side, so I wonder, I'm just going to try something, and it's just because I want to see what it looks like. I don't want to use the spots on their own because I feel like it's going to be too much, but I also don't want to use these gold trees on their own because I don't think it's enough. So I'm just going to see what it looks like if I put the spots down. I don't really care because I'll fix it up in a sec. It's only I don't need to get more, but I'll just move this over because this bit's going to be covered up anyway. There we go. Let's get the trees. I don't think it's going to work because the trees are actually, righto, I'm going to put the trees on there, but I'm going to alter them a little bit. So the trees actually sit really nicely in the middle of that washi. So I'm going to have it so that it sits with just a little bit of washi sitting at the bottom, like off my page, so that when I trim that off, it'll actually sit where it's supposed to. Something not sitting right there. Alright, I don't need so much, so I'm just going to start it off the page. I'm going to line it up where I want it. So I'm paying no attention at all to where my lines are, because they're basically irrelevant at this point. So the washi is sitting right on the page. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. So I'm going to cut off the excess and then stick that card down, and then I'm going to put that washi on the other side as well. I feel like the other side's going to be harder because I need to line it up with the edge of the page was where the trees sit instead of the edge of the washi tape. So I just need to pay a little bit of attention to that. So I'm just going to stick that down and it'll just sit in there. And then I can put either Happy Mail or something else on the inside. We'll work that out afterwards. Just grab my glue tape and stick this down. So I'm sticking it as close, I'm just leaving just a tinsy little strip of space there, and that way it sort of isn't right on the edge. Go. And we'll put that tree washi down the bottom too. So I'm going to make sure with this one, I'm going to have it sit so it sits flush up against the other washi. I don't want them covering each other up. So I want to have, there's a mushroom in here in the sort of die cut shapes, which is supposed to be used as, I think they say bunting, or is they just cut, they might just be shapes, just card cutouts. And I want to turn it into a little flip open, and I want to have it at the top, so I'm going to put mushrooms along the top there, I think. So I'm going to cut off the knobbly bits. And I'm just grabbing a piece of white cardboard. So this is just a scrap I've got. I'm just going to cut that, and it can be really rough because I'm going to trim it all out anyway. I'm going to fold this over. And I want this to be a really nice crisp line, so give it a good one with a scoring tool. And I'm going to have it. So I'm going to trace around this. I'm just trying not to get any pencil mark on the die cut, which I just did a horrible job of, but that's right, I can clean it up afterwards. So I'm going to cut that out, and then I'm going to stick the mushroom back down again. So I'm cutting this through both sides, like both bits of cardboard, and then we can just stick the die cut down on top. So because I traced the outside of that, I'm just cutting on the inside of my shape, not panicking too much if it's not 100% perfect, because I can always trim off some more afterwards. Okay, so when I fold that open, I've got that shape. Just stick that there. See what I've got. So I need to cut it a little bit more on this side. Make this a little bit thinner. I'm not worried at all about the other side of the cardboard. It'll be, the shape will be the shape, so it's okay. Just don't want it showing up underneath the die cut. Go a little bit off script and just see how I go here. Just obviously remember you need to leave somewhere for it to fold open, because I have made that mistake before and I look like an idiot, but that's okay. So there we go, it's hiding behind there, so I can stick that on now, and then when I open it up, it'll have this shape on the inside. Could just as easily have it so it's just a little bit on there, so you don't have that white on the other side. Yeah, I don't know, just sort of thinking, because that might work just as well. What do you think? Alright, I'm going to leave it as it is. You're not really going to look on the inside of it anyway, so just going to mount that up on there, so just with some glue tape. You have the little mushroom, just to add a little bit of interest, and just because I can, I'm just going to go around the outside. I'll show you a slightly thinner one. just going to go around the outside of the whole mushroom on the inside and like on the left and the right. And just put this little faux stitching detail on there. It's more so that you make the inside a little bit more interesting, because at the moment it kind of looks a bit boring. So I'll just make it a little bit more interesting. Could do this with red too, that would look really cool having red stitching. But I figured I've done everything else with red, so maybe time to add something else in. I messed up a little bit on the top there, but that's alright. So I'm going to put the mushroom washi down along the top both, and then that is going to sit in there so it can just open up like that. So we'll grab that mushroom washi. I knew it was hiding somewhere. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the other side. I want to make this not cover up the other washi tape, so I'm just going to grab my ruler and just tear that off so it doesn't overlap. Go, and just cut off the excess up here. Just making sure it doesn't hit any of the holes that we've punched there already. And I'm just being careful when I push that so that, oh damn it. There we go. So I didn't think of that. It's not going to open. It will. It's just not as smooth as it could be. I'm just going to leave it and I'll just deal with it. It's just not a smooth opening. Alright, we'll cut it off. Not sure that'll... Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm a little annoyed with it, but that's alright. Alright. Let's put the other bits and pieces that we need on here to balance everything out. I've got a bunch of Christmas stickers here that we need to put in, or I should put in. Whoops, I lost a Milo. So I'm going to start off with my gym sticker for Tuesday. This is just an oldie but a goodie. This is lime and water, and I've just picked a red. I figured that would work really nicely, so that makes it easy. What have I got stuck? Washi tape. I feel like I'm going to have washi tape tucked everywhere for this. Got that there. Just want to see what we've got in here before I go altering around through the other bits and pieces. I do love some of this paper, and I decided not to use it just because I didn't want to just have strips of paper when we do have washi tape, so use that instead. Also could have used that gorgeous little spotty pocket. So I'm just going to stick a little bookmark in that stickers. I think I'll put in, this is a Lily and Lion to do box, and I love them because they are just so easy to use and they look really cute. So I'm just going to put that down the side there, just so I've got a little bit of a to-do list somewhere. I want to put in a bigger tree, and I want to put in a couple of these little elves because they're adorable. And I'm going to grab a couple of mushrooms and a couple of these little stars. Sometimes I find it easier just to get out what I want, and then I can come back later. There's also a bunch of mushrooms that are a bit bigger, which I'm going to use as well, so I'm just going to leave that open. Alright, so I'm going to put, this is something I found last week. Did you know that Thursdays is actually my busiest day of the week? So I need to not put things down the bottom anymore because they take up too much room on Thursday and I don't like it. So I'm going to put this guy here, and I'll put the girl over this side. And I'm deliberately kind of breaking up the days a little bit so that they're not quite so wide, if that makes any sense. I'm just making sure that tree, I'm going to put the tree there, but at the same time I don't. Anyway, you can see where the tree should go. I'll put the tree here. It kind of looks out of place, but I'm going to add in a couple of mushrooms around him so that it doesn't look quite so stark there in the middle. I just want to put the mushroom behind it, so I'm just going to pull that up if I can. No, can't. I'm just going to trim this off a little bit. Whoops. Dog hair. Always dog hair. Okay, that doesn't look quite so stark over there by itself. Put in a couple of these stars as well. And I want to put something here that's a little bit bigger. I just don't know what yet. I'm just going to put in one of these mushrooms just here. And then add in a couple more of these other mushrooms. And put one sort of here. I think that's all I want to put on there for that. I feel like I need just another couple of little bits. So I'm going to put this little Milo because it's our work Christmas party on Friday, so that can go there, and I'm going to write that in. And then I feel like I need a quote of some description. So these are really old clear stickers I got from the reject shop. I actually don't know how long ago. And I'm just trying to avoid anything that's got any green, because obviously there's no green in here at all, so I don't want green. I'm gonna put some joy over that side. Don't know how this is gonna look, so I'm just, maybe you will see. No, you won't. It's got white behind it, so it's hard to see. I'm going to grab this one here that just says may your days be merry and bright. I'm going to put that here, which has got that same white. It's also got some black stuff there, which is a bit annoying. But like I said, these are really old stickers, so perhaps that's just stuck on there from being really old, which is what it seems to be. So it has got that may your days be merry and bright. It just doesn't look right, so going to pull that up, and because these have been staying in my collection for so long, I'm just going to cut off the may your days be, because I don't really care that I'm ruining a sticker that's basically been hiding in my collection. And I'm just going to change it just so it just says merry and bright, and I'm going to leave that alone. I don't think I have to put anything else in there. Can you think of anything I'm forgetting? Oh, there is one thing I'm forgetting. I just need to put a little box of some description. Just trying to find one that's right. Okay, we're going to use this little one here. This is a little red one. This is actually a Milo milk one. And I'm just going to put it there. I just have a subscription I need to cancel before Monday, or like on Thursday. So I'm just putting my reminder there, and I'll do that afterwards. Feel like I just need another star or two. I know, I can't stop. That little bit's bothering me, so I'll cover it up. There was the joy. Alright, I'm going to leave it at that. I actually really like that. I will admit the mushroom's kind of bugging me because it's not quite perfect, but at the same time I can get over that. I really like the addition of that joy sticker. That to me finishes that side of the page off really nicely. And then I love that I've got all this room to write in here and in here. So if I've got to-do list or happy mail list, which I do have a bit of happy mail coming, that's sort of there hidden away. And then I've also got my to-do down here. But I think it has come out really nicely. I really like this Nordic collection from kikki.K. Anytime they add anything that's got red and gold, I'm actually a big fan of. I think they do that really, really well. There is obviously the Luxe collection that's still here from kikki.K that has the blue and the rose gold and the pinks. I'm not going to use that this year, I don't think, unless I go back and use it for New Year's week, which I haven't decided yet. So let me know if you'd like to see that down below, or you can find me on any of my socials. Don't forget to give this one a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of my other decorations, especially at the moment with so much Christmas going on. I hope you guys have the best day, and I will see you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!